Happy Easter! Do you know why we celebrate Easter? I bet you do. It's because of Jesus Christ. He came back to life. And do you know why that matters? Well, we're going to talk about that as we make in our own rocks and pebbles the tomb scene and Jesus rising triumphant. And I think you'll be really interested because it's all about you and me and everybody, but about you. So get your rocks out and let's make this together. Now, can I point out just a couple of things? First of all, we need a big round rock or a big round thing for the tomb to shut the door so we can shut Jesus in and lock him in tight. Well, those are hard to find. I went for a walk around my neighborhood and I found this beauty. I had to go ask the neighbor if I could borrow this rock, and I'm going to take it back. But this is a great rock to use. But sometimes you just can't find a really big circle rock. So I want to give you some suggestions of what you could do instead. If you have a kitchen and you have somebody that's in the kitchen like mom, you can ask her for Tupperware lids. I have a couple different ones here, and these work great because we can just turn it over and this could be the rock. See, it will fit nicely right there, won't it? And then we can shut the tomb. And we could use this. You can use anything that you have that's a circle. You could even get a piece of cardboard and just cut out a circle and use that. And it's the right color, so it works great. I have some cardboard right here. So here's some from a box, and I could just draw a circle and cut that out with scissors, and I could use that. So you don't have to use rocks. As a matter of fact, when we do the whole tomb, all the rocks around the tomb, I'm going to show you a lot of different ways we could do that because you might not have rocks that fit together or enough rocks to put there. But what's really important is that we make our Savior, Jesus, being triumphant right there. And the other important and really fun thing to do is to make angels. And we have two here. They are the ones that rolled away the stone from the entrance and opened it up so Jesus could come out. Well, he probably could have just walked through the walls, huh? But they opened it up for him. So we're going to make all of this together. So get your rocks and get your supplies. Well, what supplies do you need? Can I make a suggestion? On this one, because we're going to have a lot of different ways that we could do the whole tomb part, we don't have to just use rocks. We're going to have other things too. It might be nice to have a container to hold it all in. So let me give you a few suggestions. Okay, my favorite one is a cardboard box. If you go to the grocery store for free, you can get all kinds of cardboard boxes. This one is really handy because it's not very deep, and I can put my whole piece of art in there. And so I'll just lay this down on the table and I'll put my rocks inside. I'll just put my rocks inside here and I'll play with them in here and make this scene in here. And then it's really handy because you can carry this around and take this to another room and show people what you did in case you don't want to glue it down. Or you can just glue it down inside of the box. So it's really handy to use a box. Go ask mom or somebody that can help you find something that you could do your rock art in. And just turn this off, and then when you're ready, turn it back on. Easter is all about the empty tomb. In this book, you'll see here's Jesus, and he's in his tomb, and most people talk about the empty tomb because Jesus lives again and he leaves the tomb. So let's make a representation of Jesus first. So we just need a tall rock, something. We could use one of these rocks. We've got lots of tall rocks that I've been collecting. I hope you've collected a few. Here's some. Any of those would work just fine. So I'm gonna use, I got lucky that I found a white rock, and white represents purity and innocence and virtue. So I think that's a good color for Jesus. let's give Jesus a head. So I picked out a bunch of rocks from my yard and neighborhood, and let's try a few. How about this one? Well, it seems a little big to me, although I like that it's white. Let's try this one then. Well, that would work, but it seems kind of tiny. So how about this one? Okay, that looks perfect to me. So that's good. And now let's find the bed or the slat that Jesus would be put on when he died. And I picked out all these long rocks because for this, we're gonna need a lot of long rocks. So let's just choose this one. Okay, so if he died on the cross and then they laid him in the tomb, he'd probably be like that, huh? And maybe we could even put little legs on this bed that he's on. And before I put this video on, I played with my rocks and found these, so I had already picked these out. I like that. We could have used something else, like if you had some little triangles, you could do something like that. That'd work really great too. It's just up to your preference, what you like. And you don't have to put anything down. I just thought it'd be fun to put some there. Okay, now we have Jesus. We probably should have some legs for him. And so I picked out a bunch of these stick rocks out of my gravel. And I think these would be good. There's some legs. Okay, so Jesus died and he laid in the tomb. But Easter morning is when he came back to life, and that's why we celebrate Easter. So let's put a door frame around Jesus. And that could be, you might have a bunch of rocks that you can stack up, but we'll use these. And then I had these really long ones that I found down by the river that would work great. And we also need something for, well, maybe just the ground. Let's see if we turn these over. Sometimes you find fun ways that they like to fit together. Kind of like, maybe like that. Okay, that could be the inside of the tomb. And I'm going to use these big ones. Brink. And then we need something across the top. So maybe I'll just do this across the top. Okay, now we have like a doorway. But maybe you don't have really neat rocks like that because you haven't been down by a river or an ocean before. But you could use anything if you wanted to. You could just stack up. Here, I have some. Here's some more stick rocks that I have. I could just stack these up like this. And that would work great, don't you think? That looks really good. I might like that even better. Wow. But I'm gonna need a big round thing to cover him. And my biggest round rock I have is this size, and that's not gonna cover the whole door. Maybe I need to make this smaller, I think. Gosh, I like these better. Surprises me. So I'm just gonna scoot these in. Scoot, scoot, scoot. And bring this down a little bit so I can have a smaller doorway. Okay, how's yours looking? That looks pretty good. Should we try my big tall ones? Oh, that looks really good too. Doesn't matter. Anything you want. I'll put those in for fun. There we go. I'll scoot them in tighter. What do you think? How's yours looking? Okay, that looks like a doorway to me. And then when Jesus comes back to life, he will sit up and we'll put his little legs down here like they're hanging over the edge of this bed that he's on. Like that. And then we'll need 2 arms to make him triumphant. So I've got more of my long rocks. And there he is, triumphant. Came back to life. Woohoo! And do you know why that matters? Do you know why that's so important that he came back to life? Because it proved, first of all, that he had the power over life and death. He created the universe, after all. He should be able to come back to life. But not everybody knew that for sure. So that was pretty amazing to prove that he was definitely God. But here's a reason that maybe, I don't know if you've thought about, but because Jesus came back to life, that means that we get to come back to life too. And you know from the cross, did you do that tutorial with me? That when we did the cross, that's not a very good cross. I think we could do better. When we did that tutorial on the cross, and in Gethsemane, we learned about how Jesus paid the price for our sins so that we would not die spiritually. So he conquered spiritual death and physical death. And that's why we celebrate it. So when you die, you won't stay in the ground. You will live forever. Isn't that exciting? And so if your goldfish dies, or your rabbit, or your kitty cat, or your grandma, or if anybody dies, you'll know that you'll get to see them again and that they will live again. That is so beautiful. So that's what we're making, but Jesus is still in the tomb. He hasn't resurrected yet with our rock art. So let's put him back down. And you know what? The scriptures say something interesting. They talk about a napkin. So when you die and you get put in a tomb like this, they wrap you up in cloth and they put a napkin on the face. But we'll put it down here. So it'll kind of look like a pillow, but it really was a covering for his face. They called it a napkin. And we'll just put one of his arms down here and leave this for later. Okay. So we need a circle. We need the big stone that was rolled in front. I got this giant stone. It's so heavy. This thing's like 5 pounds. Let's see, would that fit? Okay, didn't sit on Jesus. It was just the covering for the door. I don't like that one so much. Okay, I got this little guy. What do you think? That would work. But I also found this other one. It's not quite as round, but it's nice, and I like the shape of it. It kind of fits in the doorway really well. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. Okay. We need to put a little rock under that to keep it there for now. Okay, that's pretty good. So there's the tomb after Jesus died. Now what we need would be, what's all the rest of this to go all the way around? Let's look at the picture again. Okay, so we need all of this part that we could put in. And this is really fun because you could make the rocks fit together. And that's what I did for this one. You see how this rock has a straight edge, so I made sure the next rock had a straight edge. And when I put the heart in there, I made sure I had a rock with a curve so they all fit together nicely. That will take a long time to do. And it's really fun. It's kind of like a puzzle with natural things. So we can do that. I did it with heart rocks. So I got out my whole collection of heart rocks and I tried it with heart rocks. And you can see I've got these beautiful big ones that I've found over the years. These are my most favorite ones. And I was able to put them together one by one until their edges matched together, and I could just start setting them in until all the edges were, and then I put it all the way around. I'll show you that video. But that was just for fun to use my heart-shaped rocks. What else could we use? Well, we could use anything. If we have a whole bunch of other rocks, like all of these, we could just be laying all these out until they fit together. And that could be really neat to do that. Or what if we don't have enough rocks to do that? Well, there are a lot of other choices. I'll show you some fun things. Let's move these out of the way. First, we need a base. Well, I've got some sticks we could use to kind of be the base all the way across. And we could just put a whole bunch of sticks. We could even use sticks for the top up here. That's cool, don't you think? Yeah, that looks neat. So if you didn't have enough rocks, you could just use big sticks. But I was lucky that I had enough. So how about pine cones? These are redwood pine cones, one of the biggest trees in the whole wide world. I have a whole bunch of them. So when I went to the redwoods, I collected some pine cones, and they smell so good. And then here's a different kind of pine cone. See how that's a little different? We could use those too. I got those just out of my backyard. There, that looks pretty good. So there's one way to do it. And then when the stone rolls open, and then Jesus comes to life, and he puts his arms up, he puts his legs up. There you go. There's the tomb when Jesus came back to life. And the scriptures even say that the napkin that was on his face, he folded it neatly and he set it down. And in old Hebrew culture, that meant if you folded your napkin at your dinner table, that meant you weren't done yet. You were coming back. Like if you need to go to the restroom and come back to the dinner table, you'd fold your napkin. And so he was sending us a message maybe that he was saying, instead of just throwing it on the ground or crumpling it up, he folded it neatly, maybe to tell us that he was coming back. And he is. He's coming back soon, and I'm excited for that. Okay, that's one way to do it. Well, let's put the stone back on. And what's another way? If you don't have enough rocks, and maybe you don't have pine cones, what else could we use? In the fall, I went around and collected all of the acorns that I could find. And look at all these acorns. We could use these. And then you just can shape them like around. That looks pretty great. And then the stone gets rolled. Uh-oh. And we just have to fix it a little bit. And there's Jesus came back to life. Ta-da! That looks fantastic. I love it. But what if you don't have any acorns? Well, what if we were to use the acorn heads? I collected a whole bunch. Those are the little hats the acorns go in. We could pour those and use those. Or I have another idea. My mom gave me these beans from her food storage. These beans would work great too. We could just pour them all out along here and they would work just fine. So there are lots of ways you could do this. But you know what we're missing? It's the angels. The angels are the ones that rolled the stone away. The angels came down from heaven and they opened up the tomb for Jesus. So we should make some angels. So in order to make angels, you need triangles. At least that's a fun way to do it. First, you need a tall rock to be a body. So there's a tall one. And then you need a wing. And wings can be made with triangles or stick rocks, but I'll show you what I mean. Okay. try this one. Okay, this rock has a point here, and a point here. So it's kind of a triangle. With rocks, you have to just give a lot of leeway. So there's a wing, and then we need a head for our sweet little angel, of course. So let's bring those rocks back. What would be a good head? If we use this one, this is a heart rock. Oh, my rock is wobbly. Okay, that's way too big. Okay, how about this cute one? Oh, that's sweet. Okay, we have an angel, and then maybe even a little arm with our angel. And I've got some rocks down here. How about this one? And our angel is like she's praying, or he could be pointing like, look at Jesus. Okay, so this angel rolled the rock away, but it said 2 angels came down. So we need another angel. Which rock wants to be an angel? Any of these would look great. Let's just try this one. So you just get kind of a long rock. And then we need a circle for a head. So maybe this would work. And then we need a wing. And wings can be anything. Oh, I got a neat rock here. That's kind of a triangle. There's a point here, maybe one here and here. I know it's kind of wiggly too, but I like to think of them as triangles. We set that there. Oh, that's kind of neat. That's very different. Let's try this little rock. This is more just a curved rock, but if you're thinking of a triangle, I would think of the points like that. It works better. This rock works better that way, so I don't know if that will work. What do you think? Do you like that as a wing? That could work fine. We've got some of these other neat rocks over here. Ooh, I like that one. It's really cool. Let's try that. Ooh, that's kind of neat. All right, there's our 2 angels. And what did the angels do? They rolled that stone away. That's right. Oh, and did I tell you my great idea? I think I did. My great idea for stone, if you don't have a big stone, you could use Tupperware lids. Mom can give you a lid off of something she was just going to throw away, and then you can just use that for your big stone. So lots of easy ways to do it. Okay, that looks really great. What do you think? I think making angels is so much fun. Like, we could make angels all day long. Like, let me just take this one. What do you think of that? Oh yeah. And then if you just grab another rock that's kind of got a point on it, like they're feathers, sort of. Ooh, that one looks really good. And you give that one a head. I think. Ta-da! There's another angel. Ooh, that's really neat because it kind of has that flare out there. So you just need a tall rock, kind of a triangle for the wing and a circle for the head, and that's how you make an angel. God, that one is so good. I think I'll replace this one. Oopsie, there goes my arm. Let's see. Oh wow, that's a neat one. This one has a fatter wing and this one's a skinnier wing. You can see the difference and see which one you like better. Okay, so we did it. So how about you? How's yours looking? I'd love to see yours. You can, if somebody puts it up on social media, then you can hashtag Patti Rokus or RocksTellStories, and then I can see it. I'd love to see it. Oh, and look, here's a little bonus down here. This is a seed that came out of one of those pine cones. Remember I told you those redwood trees are the biggest trees in the world? That little tiny seed right there turns into a redwood tree. Can you believe that? It's kind of like you. You're little right now, but you have inside of you everything you need to become a beautiful soul. And you're just growing and learning about God and His love for us and learning to have faith in Him so that all of this that He did in the last week before the resurrection, where he suffered in the Garden of Gethsemane and he died on the cross, it was all for us so that we could live again and have joy and keep learning and playing and progressing. And if he didn't do that, then we would all be stuck and we wouldn't be able to live again. So that's why we celebrate Jesus on Easter, is because he opened up the way for us to live again and to be happy. So if you want to do the Garden of Gethsemane together, then I tell you all about our sorrows and how he paid for our sins and our sorrows. So maybe you can do that one with me too. Okay, I hope that you will show everybody in your family and teach them what Easter means, and that it's not so much about the Easter baskets. Easter baskets are a lot of fun, but the true meaning of Easter is about Jesus Christ and that he lives again and he will be coming back very soon. I'd like to show you one more thing. Do you know you can make words out of rocks? So what if I wanted to put somebody's name in here, like your name? Or maybe I want to put a message like love. So you can pick out rocks that look like letters. And I thought this rock looked like an L. And so I got a circle rock for an O, and a triangle for a V. And then E's are really hard. So I found this one that would look like part of an E. And I'll put little teeny tiny rocks in there to finish it off. What do you think? So then you can put a little word in there too. Might even be your name. Okay, that's just a fun little extra. So say your prayers and know that you are loved. And I'll see you next time with some more fun rock art to do together. Kisses for Jesus. Sweet things. Are you happy about Easter? It's good already. Junior. Sweetheart. No. Really? Junior. You're so cute.